Hello, welcome back to the Penny Dreadful MTG channel. It's been a while. My computer broke and I got a new job. I don't know, I didn't really feel like recording, honestly. But now I do, so I'm back. Doing some more Historic today. And today we have a pretty sweet deck. It's an updated version of a deck that I think I recorded a video for a while back. I at least was playing for a while. But a deck basically built around, it's a Jund deck, black, white, green, built around Goblin Bombardment and Insidious Roots. Insidious Roots, there you go. I don't know why it's not zooming in. There we go. Insidious Roots, whenever a creature leaves your graveyard, you get a 0/1 green plant, and then you pump up all your plants, and all your creature tokens tap for mana. And Goblin Bombardment, of course, is sack a creature to deal damage to anything. These work really nicely together because this gives creatures to sack to bombardment, and most importantly, they both work with creatures that come back from the graveyard over and over and over, which we have 2 of in this deck, or 8 total, 2 of each. Real quick, before I talk about those, Tyvar is the other kind of key engine in this deck, which is a 3-mana Planeswalker, often played with Insidious Roots, where it lets you tap your tokens immediately because of its first ability, and the -2 ability lets you bring something back. So you play a turn 2 Insidious Roots, and then turn 3, you play Tyvar, you bring something back, you can immediately tap for mana, start playing other things. Pretty powerful combination of cards. And then the cards that I mentioned earlier, our 2 creatures are recurring creatures, Bloodghast, a classic, and Forsaken Miner, a newish card, or at least new since the last time I recorded, from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. It's a 1-mana 2/2 that can't block, and whenever you commit a crime, which is targeting any of their stuff, you can pay black and get it back from the graveyard. So this works really, really well with Goblin Bombardment, because when you cast, or when you use this ability, that is committing a crime. You're targeting something of theirs, assuming you're targeting something of theirs. And so you can basically deal 1 damage for every black mana you have. You can just use this over and over and over again. So that's a really powerful ability. Every land in this deck taps for black. So you have basically as many lands as you have, you can deal 1 damage. And then with Insidious Roots, you get even more mana from the tokens you get. Every time you use this loop, it triggers the Insidious Roots, etc., etc. And if you have all 3 of these together, which happens, a non-zero amount of the time, this deck isn't trying to assemble this combo, but it is an infinite combo, where because these now have haste, every time you bring this back, it gets a plant, which can immediately tap for black, which can let you keep doing this over and over and over. Like I said, this isn't, the goal of this deck isn't simply to just assemble this 3-card combo. That's not the point. I guess technically 4-card combo. The miner just has to be in your graveyard to start. But all 3 of these cards just work well with the plan, and if you happen to get them all at the same time, you do go infinite and just win the game on the spot. So what else do we have? Some 1-drop enablers in the form of 4-Stitcher Supplier. Incredible card in a deck like this, just exactly what you want. I wish I could play 12, honestly, but we only have 4 copies. Artillery Enthusiast, one of my favorite cards, favorite digital-only cards. When it comes into play, it's a 1/2. When it comes into play, you get to discard a card and get a random card from your deck with the same mana cost, or same CMC. So it's nice to put this into play, discard a Bloodghast, and find a Bombardment or Insidious Roots. It's a nice, common turn 1 play. Rubblebelt Maverick is a 1/1 for 1 that when it enters Surveil, you Surveil 2, which, fills up your graveyard, helps smooth out your draws, and then later on you can exile it to put a +1/+1 counter on something, or more importantly, that triggers Insidious Roots because it makes it leave your graveyard. This deck also gets to play Deathrite Shaman, which is awesome because this is one of my favorite cards ever printed. And you're filling up your graveyard enough that you're pretty reliably able to tap it for mana, and obviously does all the other Deathrite Shaman stuff, draining them, gaining life, and disrupting their graveyard. But also importantly, all three of these abilities, if you exile something from their graveyard, it triggers Forsaken Miner, which is because it's a crime to target your opponent's graveyard, and you can target your own creatures in your own graveyard to trigger Insidious Roots. This is a kind of a interaction that there's a Pioneer deck that plays Deathrite Shaman in the Insidious Roots deck. What else? So we have a new card from MH3, Wight of the Reliquary, 2/2 Vigilance, gets +1/+1 for each creature in your graveyard. So this is, often just like, 2 mana, 8/8, which is not quite as good as it sounds. In this format, there's a lot of decks playing small chump blocky creatures. So, a straight up 2 mana, 8/8, it's good. It's a good card for sure, but it's not like as busted as that sounds on the surface. But the other ability, you can sack a creature to get a land. This works particularly well with Bloodghast, where you sack the Bloodghast, get a land, which immediately brings back the Bloodghast. And you can do this, off of a Tyvar, minus the Tyvar, get the Wight, sack the Bloodghast, get it back right away that same turn. So that, this card works really nicely in this deck. I think there's other cards that it could be, and I've experimented with some other stuff, but this has been my favorite so far. Something to keep an eye on if we feel like it's sort of lacking. Some other cards, Satoru. This is another card from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, another really sweet one. It's a 2 mana 2/3, and basically whenever something comes into play, if you didn't cast it or if you didn't spend any mana on it, you get to draw a card. So whenever you bring a Bloodghast back or a Forsaken Miner back, you get to draw. It also works off of Tyvar, including if you bring this back off the Tyvar, it checks itself, so you get to draw a card. So as you're kind of looping through your deck with your Bloodghast and Forsaken Miners, you just get to draw a ton of cards. We also have 2 Psychic Frogs. The split between these, I'm not entirely sure, but this is what I've liked so far. You don't want too many of these because they're legendary, and this card's also really great, but you really kind of only need one in play. So it lets you discard a card to get a counter on it. That's really nice with your Bloodghast and Miners, especially your Bloodghast, making it so that you can get these into play without having to actually cast them. So you can start sacking them without having to spend that initial 2 mana. And then the last ability on Psychic Frog, often is just kind of a clunky little way of giving it flying, is actually maybe the most important part of this card, which is that you can exile 3 cards to give it flying, which means you can just trigger Insidious Roots a bunch of times off of the Psychic Frog, kind of exile your whole graveyard. If you do it carefully, where you kind of exile like land, creature, that gives a trigger, and then the next one is Roots, Bombardment, creature, something like that. So you can just trigger this a bunch of times. And the last card, another new one from MH3, Malevolent Rumble, just been an absolute godsend for decks like this. It does so many things that you want. You look at the top 4, put a permanent into your hand, and you make a 0/1 Eldrazi spawn. This, fills up your graveyard. It gives you a bunch of selection. It gives you a creature, and it's a creature token, so you can tap it for Insidious Roots. You can sack it to Goblin Bombardment. You can just use the mana from the spawn to cast a Tyvar, things like that. And the really good thing that it does is lets you, you want to play all 3 of these cards, but A, you want to keep your creature count reasonably high, and B, none of these cards are particularly good in multiples. Goblin Bombardment, might as well be legendary. It doesn't do anything to have 2 of these in play. Insidious Roots, you get double triggers, but it's really not that relevant. Tyvar is a little more relevant because the -2, sometimes you'll just play this and minus it and then just play another one and minus it. But, it's a 3 mana spell. This deck has a really low mana curve. You don't really want to draw a bunch of these. So this just lets you really, just get, one of each, smooth out your draws. Malevolent Rumble, really awesome card in this deck. Mana base, pretty straightforward. Like I said, every land taps for black. 2 lands worth pointing out. Phyrexian Tower, new card from MH3, or it's a reprint, but newly in the format. You can tap to sack a creature to add double black. Great in this deck. You just having a sacrifice outlet, a free sacrifice outlet on a land by itself is great. And then, some extra mana, so you can cast like a Deathrite Shaman and a Forsaken Miner in the same turn, cast your Bloodghast, cast an earlier Tyvar, things like that. Great addition to decks like these. And one that's a little bit speculative. This card is Pit of Offerings. It's from one of the Ixalan sets. I forget which one it's called. Rivals. When it comes to play, you exile 3 cards from graveyards. They can either be yours or your opponent's, and it taps to add 1 mana of any of the exiled cards' colors. So because you're playing Wight of the Reliquary, having access to a utility land is pretty nice. There's a good number of decks, of like combo decks that use their graveyard, and some more fair decks that also use their graveyard, so being able to disrupt those at instant speed off of the Wight is pretty great. Notably, when you cast or when you exile some of their stuff, it triggers Forsaken Miner, and you can exile your own creatures to trigger Insidious Roots. So, coming to play tapped is not great. The fact that it doesn't always tap for the mana of the colors you need isn't great. I've been finding that it's worth having 1 copy. I'm not 100% sure about that, but so far, so good. One other thing I should mention about the mana, we do have these, this is a Jund deck, but we do have 4 blue spells. We have a lot of blue sources just naturally. We have 4 Mana Confluence, we have 3 Deathrite Shaman, we have Insidious Roots, and these both also come back off of a Tyvar. Sometimes you can get your Pit of Offerings to tap for blue. So I've actually found you're pretty consistently able to get these cards into play one way or the other, and the mana has not been a significant problem, at least for that. With a 3-color deck in this format, there's always some mana issues just because the fixing isn't nearly as good as it is in formats where you get fetch lands. But it's still pretty solid, and Deathrite Shaman helps a lot. So that's the deck. I'm going to run it through a historic league, and I will be back for round 1. All right, round 1 against Turans. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is a keep. The Deathrite can't, we don't have anything to mill ourselves, so the Deathrite currently can't tap for mana unless we use this Artillery Enthusiast to discard a land. That being said, I think that's fine. Given that, though, do I want to lead with Deathrite? I think I still will. I think I'm just going to play the Roots on turn 2. That way, when I get the Bloodghast out, it triggers the Roots. Yeah, I think this is fine. And just pass the turn. Oh, that was a fucking mistake. Oh, shit. That was stupid, because now I have to play my red source before I can use this Artillery Enthusiast. Yeah, that was a significant mistake. All right. They Monastery Swift Spear. All right. Rubblebelt Maverick. Oh, this is helpful. Okay, so the Maverick lets this tap for red, which lets me do the things I need to do. Okay, do I want Satoru? No, I think I need to find other stuff. All right, let's exile this for red. Discard the Bloodghast. Hopefully we find Goblin Bombardment. We don't. Okay. Given that, am I going to just play a second Roots? I think I will. We don't get the first Bloodghast trigger from it, but this Maverick can chump block one of these, and that'll let us do something. All right, they have Experimental Synthesizer. There's some sort of artifact Prowess deck. It's interesting. They also have like all Ramen Up Ruins, which means that they're taking a lot of damage from their lands. Oh, I guess they're probably playing like Kadoltha Rebirth. They're like a mono-red Kadoltha Rebirth deck, I guess. Ooh, they're just skewering the critics right to the face. All right. Block with this, and I guess block with that. Just chumparoo. Okay. So, Deathrite's not a particularly good draw. Let us, I guess, put a counter on the Bloodghast. Let's attack with the Bloodghast and one of the plants. See if they block. I get to put 2 counters on this. All right. I'm going to exile the Artillery Enthusiast, which triggers the Insidious Roots twice. And then I guess I'll play another Deathrite. Well, I guess actually we're pretty good shape. You know, what I boldly claimed that having 2 Insidious Roots was kind of overkill. In this game, it's been pretty useful. Yeah, now they're just kind of fucked here. All right, yeah, another Swift Spear, sure. Yep, and they scooped. Sweet. All right, be back for round 2. Okay. Round 2. While I was waiting, I was looking back at my... I keep records of these decks. I had won 20... Or that was my 20th straight win with with this deck. 20 straight matches. This has been really good. I had won 19 coming into this. All right, we're going to lead with a Deathrite. Next turn, we get to go Stitcher Supplier, hopefully hit a land. Then we can play Psychic Frog. If not, I guess we'll just play another Miner. All right, Deep Cavern Bat. That's fine. They probably take the Psychic Frog. Not particularly worried. They could take a Malevolent Rumble. Honestly, whatever they want to take is fine. If they take Psychic Frog, I'm just, yeah. Which they do. All right. Let's cast a Malevolent Rumble. Boom. Goblin Bombardment. Then tap this for black. And I don't know. Does it really matter? I guess let's get the Stitcher Supplier into play. Okay. So next turn, we get to play the Bombardment and then start gunning down their shit. With Forsaken Miner, they can attack for 1. Enjoy. Unless they have another Deep Cavern Bat. Ooh, they might have a counterspell here. Interesting. Do I want to just jam? You know, I don't think I'm that upset if they counter. Let's see what happens. No, they don't. Do I want to immediately... No, let's attack first. Let's play... Actually, I'm gonna play a Malevolent Rumble off of the Eldrazi spawn. These work also nicely. You can kind of chain them together. All right, yeah, that's what I was looking for. I was looking to get a land. Pay 2. Bring back the Bloodghast. I forgot I even had that. And Forsaken Miner. And then we can kill this Deep Cavern Bat at the end of their turn. Or whenever we want. Whenever you gain life, bats you control. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this looks like, to me, not a particularly serious deck. Let's sack the Supplier here. All right. Get our Psychic Frog back. What do we want to do here? All right, we're going to kill this probably. Psychic Frog is like okay here. I guess, what is this? Does it have Death Touch? It does. All right, well, let's attack in with these 2 guys. No blocks. All right. I'm not even that worried about killing this thing. You know, it doesn't really matter. Let's Artillery Enthusiast, discarding, I guess, the Forsaken Miner. We get another Deathrite. And let's Rubblebelt Maverick. All right. Definitely do not want more lands. Hopefully we can pick up an Insidious Roots at some point. What is this? Whenever a creature control with flying enters, they get +1/+1 till end of turn. Okay, yeah, this is a very not serious deck. It doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Sure. All right, are they going to attack? Yeah, enjoy. All right, you get 1 damage. Let's just untap. Okay. I guess let's just attack with everything. We're kind of drawing like shit, but it doesn't really matter here. Do that. I guess we don't really need to let this trade. I don't know. I think this was somewhat unnecessary. I'm kind of just doing game actions right now because this is, you know, it's unlikely to be a game. Yeah, you know, I should have just done this earlier. You know what? No, that's fine. That dies. So can I kill them? No, I can't kill them, but let's at least do this. Bring back these guys. Land brings back Bloodghast. Do they have any? Do I have any? Yeah, and so I'll drain them at the end of the turn with the Deathrite. Nightmare. They're playing a 2/2 Nightmare in a deck with 4 islands. Okay, you know, I don't even make fun of them. They're clearly a new player doing their best. No need to be balked by the likes of me. Let's just try to end this game quickly. Definitely drawing like shit. All right, now we just have lethal regardless. Okay, they take 6. And doink. Sure. And doink. Good game. All right, back for round 3. All right, round 3 against Advent Mar. And I'm up to, that's 21 straight with this deck. So let's see if we can keep that going. Interesting. This is, you know, as I mentioned, double bombardment is basically a mulligan. 3 lands isn't great, but bombardment's really good. The Deathrite, I think this is fine. Supplier can try to hit what's it called? Forsaken Miner to get that thing going. The fact that this can dig for that is really nice. Ooh, all right. Soul Sisters appears to be what we got on the menu here. All right. Let's cast this Goblin Bombardment. Drawing another land, not what we wanted, but hopefully we can keep them off of doing their Soul Sisters thing for a little while. Ooh, all right. Well, that's a good draw. Attack with a Stitcher Supplier. Play Roots. I'm going to play it untapped Overgrown Tomb, and I can exile the Satoru to trigger the Roots at the end of the turn. Celestial Unicorn. Okay, so an unserious version of this deck. Let's go ahead and ping this. Okay, there's a Bloodghast. That'll do a lot of work. Let's exile the Stitcher Supplier, the one that we would least care about bringing back with what's it called? The Planeswalker, Tyvar, if we draw it. Okay. So we don't have much in, oh god, all right. Gonna need to draw some fucking anything at some point, but here we are. We get to trigger the Roots. We get our Bloodghast back. You know, at least we get to these lands to trigger the Bloodghasts. All right, another Celestial Unicorn. Yeah, I mean, I think I want to kill it. I don't know. Maybe I don't even care. Let's just keep them off of this. We'll still have, all right, let's Psychic Frog. And sack the smaller one. This will become a 3-4. All right. Malevolent Rumble is a amazing draw. So you always want to do your stuff before. Okay, well, that'll pretty much do it. The 2 Forsaken Miners. Before playing your land, because you have Bloodghast in your deck. So, you know, anything that's going to mill, do that first, then play your lands, in case you hit more Bloodghasts. All right. So now we get to just kind of go off. And we can use this Deathrite either to exile something else, trigger another Celestial Unicorn. Okay, let's do this. Auto pay for that. I guess let's sack this for black. Let's exile land for black. All right, resolves, and then sacrifice the Forsaken Miner. Bring back 2 Forsaken Miners. And now we have a billion fucking power on board. Unfortunately, 2 pretty unserious decks in a row. But, you know, at least shows what this deck can do when, when it doesn't have to worry about anything, even if it draws kind of like shit. So, good game. Back for round 4. All right, round 4. 22 straight. I think this is fine. Yeah, I mean, Roots and Bombardment. We don't have any... Ooh, I didn't... Oh, fuck me. I just looked at all of the spells. I didn't look at the fact we don't have green mana. Oh, okay. Well, you know, most of the cards in our deck at this point are not green. So either we're going to draw lands or we're going to draw non-green spells. And turn 2, we get to play Bombardment. It's fine. So we have a few draws, but yeah, that was a mistake. I think I definitely mulligan this hand if I'm paying attention, I think. I don't know. It's really good if we draw anything, if we draw a green source, but we'll see. Ooh, all right. Against blue-white control, I'm a little happier to, you know, we can wait a little more, although honestly, they can kind of get their hooks in you. You kind of want to get your board presence online before they set up their mana. Ooh, they're being slow. Hello? What's happening here? They're going to Orms champ me on turn 2? Okay, sure. That's fine. That is a green spell. That's not what we wanted to fucking draw. Ooh, do they not have another land? Ah, I thought maybe they didn't have another land. Okay. Bombardment. Another green fucking spell. There's not a lot left in the deck. There's one, I guess there's 2 more Roots. There's 1 more Rumble and 1 more Maverick, I think is all that's left. There, they had a get lost. That's too bad. Killed the Bombardment. Ooh, they don't have another land. All right, there we go. And there's a green land. What do we want to do here? We have to play this first. I guess let's play Rumble. Another Bombardment, a Wight of the Reliquary, or a Deathrite Shaman. Or a land. Maybe just get a land here. I don't know. Maybe the Bombardment is too important to not get. And then I'm going to use the map token to do some more digging. All right. Ooh, they did find a third land. That's too bad. Okay, Mana Confluence. So here's the awkward thing. You know, I'm going to want a Malevolent Rumble. I don't want to play my land first because what I'm thinking about is being able to hit Malevolent Rumble, a Bloodghast. But they also have a 2-mana counterspell that's like a mana leak. So I think I really want to get this Roots into play. So I'm going to play the land first so that we can pay for the mana leak spell. Let's see. Seems like they might have it. Yeah, it kind of does feel like that. Well, let's... Oh, yeah, the auto tapper likes to sack creatures before it makes you take a damage off Mana Confluence, which is definitely not the order of preference in this deck, but... So you got to be careful of that. Yep, they did have it. No more lies. Sweet. The read. All right. I guess I got to just Benevolent Maverick just to trigger this. I don't know. Ooh, all right, there's a Bloodghast. Not really a card we want to draw. Let's Rumble. Oh, I could have tapped this. I totally forgot that I can tap this. All right. Ooh, Tyvar is nice. Psychic Frog is also very nice here. Grab the Tyvar. If this works, then this is really great because we get to bring back the Psychic Frog. Ah, they had another No More Lies. Actually, we can pay for that. What? Wait. What the fuck? Why didn't it let us do it? God damn it. That's really fucking annoying. Son of a bitch. Oh, no. We couldn't. No. Never mind. Sorry. This doesn't have haste yet. Once the Tyvar is in play, it has haste. But this couldn't tap for mana yet. Okay. Artillery Enthusiast in the graveyard, I think. Actually, you know, I'm going to keep them both on top. And pass the turn. All right, another land they found. What do they got? Satoru's not looking great. This is like where Satoru's not that impressive. I don't have a basic land. I don't have basics in this deck. People play way too many basics in this format. All right, another Get Lost. Okay. That's too bad. Oh, I shouldn't have even shuffled. All right, but that's fine. Okay, so let's... Tyvar is a great draw. Let's cast Tyvar. Minus. Let's bring back... Wight of the Reliquary? Or Psychic Frog? I kind of think Wight is the play here. And then... I guess let's map Forsaken Miner into the graveyard. And let's attack for 3. And then we get to bring back the Bloodghasts. Bloodghasts or Bloodghast? Singular Bloodghast. End a turn by sacking this Eldrazi spawn to the Wight of the Reliquary, which it can do because of the Tyvar. We might pick up a Pit of Offerings. They don't really have any significant targets we want to hit, but might be fine. We also could maybe wait on that until we can until we have mana untapped to bring back this Forsaken Miner. What do they got? I'm guessing not a Wrath. Otherwise, they would just probably just snap it off here. Oh, they do have the Wrath. All right. That was odd. Do we want a Phyrexian Tower? I think we do. All right. That brings back the Bloodghast. And then it all dies. Okay. Satoru here. Yeah, so we can go Satoru, autopay, Bloodghast, sack the Bloodghast for black. Play second copy of Phyrexian Tower, keep the untap one, bring this back, draw a card. Bring this back, draw a card. Okay. No green mana, unfortunately. I don't think there's any way to, right? Yeah. I guess let's map. I probably shouldn't map the Bloodghast, but should probably be the Satoru. Wight of the Reliquary, yeah, that seems fine. And then let's just untap Satoru and pass the turn. So now if they have another Wrath, we get to quickly bring back the Bloodghasts. We're about to pull together the Wight of the Reliquary plus Bloodghast thing. End of turn, we're probably going to sack one of the Bloodghasts to our Phyrexian Tower so that we get to... I mean, it does leave us with 2 less damage, but it lets us draw an extra card with Satoru because this is our only sack outlet currently. So we can sack one on the end of turn and then sack another one, play a land, get it back and draw 2 cards. I think that's probably worthwhile. I guess with the Wight coming up, if they don't kill the Tyvar, we do have a second sack outlet, so maybe not. What do they have? Do they have another Wrath? They have a Teferi. Okay, that's not super scary. They might tuck this. No, they didn't. Okay. You get to draw 2, or they get to untap 2 lands. We get to untap as well. Play the Wight. What are they considering here? What is Teferi? Teferi goes to 5. Okay, how do I want to do this? I guess let's attack Teferi with these 2 and attack them with this one. You know, if they kill the Satoru, that's kind of fine. Seems like they might have that. If they go to kill the Satoru, I guess I'm going to sack this Bloodghast in response to get the trigger off this one. No, they don't. All right. So, okay. how do we want to do this? Let's sack for black, black. Sack this. Let's go get the Pit of Offerings. Let's exile the Supreme Verdict, Orm's Chant, and let's make it so they can actually tap for some useful colors. I guess this exiles a creature, which makes our white slightly smaller, but that's fine. Okay. Exiling the spells that I guess we care most about them snapcastering. All right. We get to bring this back again. Nice. Malevolent Rumble. Let's see what we can go find. You know, still probably definitely looking for roots. Do I want to play the land? I guess I can play roots here. Yeah. Let's play roots. Oh, do they have a counterspell? Can I kill them if I minus roots? No, because then the Tyvar dies and I can't. Oh wait, no. What am I talking about? I can't kill them. I don't have a Goblin Bombardment in play. All right. I don't know what they're tanking about. It's kind of odd. Like they're spending a long time. Do they have a removal spell? I'm not sure what they're trying to consider between. Oh, I guess we can play out this Forsaken Miner. Let's not. In case they have, maybe I should have. In case they have, what's it called? The card that exiles a bunch of stuff. Actually, you know, there's a couple in this format, and we don't want to get this exiled. All right, they cycle a Lorien Revealed. That's fine. So I get to end a turn, Wight of the Reliquary, sack Bloodghast, get back. I guess I'm going to draw a card and have 2 open mana because I draw off the Satoru and then I have 2 open mana because the plant plus the Saproling, I'll draw the spawn both tap for mana. So maybe I should have done this main phase, but I think it's fine to do it this way. They searched up to Surveil Land. They might just be a slow player. It feels like they're tanking a lot, but it might just be that they're slow or like their internet is slow, which sometimes happens. But they're like, you can see them like scrolling over all of our permanents over and over and over again. So they're thinking about something. You know, we obviously just have lethal on board, so they have to do something. All right, they graveyard of Dovin's Veto makes sense. Okay, Supreme Verdict, sure. We're still going to do this. Get our land into play. I don't think it really matters. I guess the one that's... Draw a card of the Satoru. And... Okay. So, how do we want to do this? I guess we'll play... We could minus Tyvar to get back the Satoru, and we could Artillery Enthusiast this Satoru to try to hit a Goblin Bombardment. I think I'd rather cast this, minus this to... Ooh, Psychic Frog. That's got to actually be better than Wight. Yeah. I guess, yeah, let's play Deathrite. Let's play Blooming Marsh, draw 2 cards, get 2 triggers off the Insidious Roots, hope to find our last Goblin Bombardment. Okay, we didn't, but we did draw a Bloodghast, which means we can Artillery Enthusiast this Bloodghast, and then, all right, another Roots. No real need to run that out. We have plenty of Roots triggers if we want them. I guess. No, you know what? I'm going to keep these in the graveyard. So if they like wipe our entire board, we can more quickly rebuild off these Rubblebelt Mavericks. And again, we have plenty. You know, end of turn, we can. Ooh, all right. Yep. Exile all creatures. Exile our artifacts. Oh, but not enchantments. In all graveyards. All right. In response, is there anything we want to be doing? Can we get any card draw? This Farewell is not a card that they really play anymore, unfortunately, but oh yeah, we get this trigger. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Okay. That's all we got. Ooh, the Insidious Roots triggers once. Funnily enough. Okay, my turn. I guess we'll do this. We will Artillery Enthusiast, discarding Forsaken Miner. Ooh, Stitcher Supplier is a nice draw. Ooh, we get another Bloodghast. Let's cast this Miner and bring back a Bloodghast. That triggers, we get 2 Roots triggers. We get to attack for 5. And untap something. There's nothing to be gained from sacking the Bloodghast. I think that's all we got. So the only thing that we're worried about, I guess we should have, no, we had to do it this way. The thing we're worried about now is Snapcaster on Farewell again, but Archmage Charm, okay, that means that they're not going to have the mana to do that this turn. You know, another Wrath is annoying. Nice. All right, they didn't have it. We got through all their stuff. Sweet. That was kind of a clunky start from both of us, but yeah, on to round 5. Round 5, 23 matches in a row. Or games, I don't know. They're best of 1 matches, I guess. Yeah, this is a keep. All right, looks like they're playing blue-red. Is the most common Gigantha deck. Blue-red Prowess. That being said, I think I'm going to Deathrite turn 1, and then turn 2 try to Stitcher Supplier plus Insidious Roots. Like, playing Supplier turn 1 in hopes of like hitting a Bloodghast doesn't make a lot of sense because we really don't want to trigger Bloodghast on turn 2. We want to trigger it after the Insidious Roots is in play. We can choose to decline the Bloodghast, but at that point, you know, why are we playing this on turn 1? There's a reasonable chance they just kill this. Yep, they're killing it. As expected. Reckless Charge is not that great here. We take 6, but, you know, that's it. We just take 6. Okay. I think we're playing Insidious Roots as opposed to, like, Malevolent Rumbling for Goblin Bombardment is the other option. It does mean that if next turn when we play this, we already have the sap or the spawn, so we can tap, like, or the spawn will be not something sick. I actually think that that might be better. I guess a Psychic Frog is fine. It can be a flying blocker. All right, so next turn we get to play Insidious Roots, play a land, get the Bloodghast, trigger Insidious Roots, and then figure something out from there. Maybe Psychic Frog, maybe Stitcher Supplier, maybe Satoru. All right. I topped both spells, is that right? Or was the first one bottom? Okay, we take 3. This matchup's all about like just like Goblin Bombardment's really important in this matchup. It's like getting their stuff out of the way before they just like kind of overwhelm you. Okay. Got the thing. So if we just wanted to play Stitcher Supplier, we could play Pit of Offerings. We could play Pit, exile Deathrite, get a second trigger. I actually think that's pretty good. We'll exile their Reckless Charge and exile their Wizard's Lightning, the things we care most about. Oh, fuck me. I didn't I didn't click the fucking Deathrite. Oh, that's so bad. All right. Oh, well. Okay. Ugh. That's so bad. I just clicked their graveyard and didn't click mine. Okay. Hopefully they don't have anything. We definitely will block with the Stitcher Supplier if they attack with Soulscar Mage. We really would like to fill up our graveyard, hit some more Bloodghasts. Okay, Flame of Venor on the plant. Makes sense. Pretty good for them. Pass. They keep the Soulscar Mage back. They just don't want to trade 2 damage for us getting 3 cards in our graveyard. That's a reasonable line. I mean, we were going to block, but I don't know that that is necessary. Symmetry Mage. Okay. Yeah, we're a little bit in trouble here. Ooh. Well, then. That's the opposite of trouble. Okay. With the Forsaken Miner. Okay, let's start off by killing these Symmetry Mages. Or at least one of them. Alright, bring back one of these. Get a trigger. Wow, that was quite the draw. Sack Bloodghast. Sack Forsaken Miner. Pay black. And then play a land. Bloodghast triggers. Get another trigger. Then we will sack a spawn. Sack Bloodghast. And sack Forsaken Miner. And all their Symmetry Mages are gone. We could also kill the Soulscar Mage. I think we probably honestly just want to. It turns off like Mentor's Guidance and Flame of Venor, but if they have like a hasty Dreadhorde Arcanist, could be a problem. And maybe we do want to just do this. I think, yeah, let's just kill these things. I mean, it slows our clock down because we don't have this like massive army, but if they can't like stick a creature, which they won't be able to after this turn, because we can just Forsaken Miner everything to pieces. All right, this is haste. Yeah, they hit the Mentor's Guidance. All right, let's kill this. But yeah, from now on, they're just never going to be able to stick a creature. They bottomed. Okay. We can't cast Satoru, unfortunately. Or Psychic Frog. We do get to play Forsaken Miner here. Play Phyrexian Tower. Get back our Bloodghast. Sack this for black. Sack the Bloodghast. I mean, I guess we don't need to sack it now, but get this. Get this. All right. And now we just get to throw around Goblin Bombardment triggers, and they're just going to be, I mean, they're literally just going to be dead next turn. All right, Balmor's fine. They can haste it if they want. Doesn't matter. We'll just kill it. This is how you just like completely take the game over against them. I'm just going to go face. I guess probably killing the Balmor makes more sense. Nah. All right. Cool. And then we just kill them. My turn. Another roots. Sure. I don't know. It's not really necessary, but seems fun. Let's sack this. Use that black mana. Get those triggers. Kill this thing, and then attack for a bajillion. I mean, we just have lethal, but might as well play with our food a little bit. Whew, this was a nail biter. I thought we were finally going to end the streak. It will end, but to lose to this deck, which has been the bane of my existence for so long, it's nice that this isn't where it ended. All right. They're being kind of slow. We can just, we can probably just attack Wizard's Lightning. Yeah, sure. I don't even know what they targeted. And doink. And attack for 1 million damages. Okay. Boom. They gave us the good game. We will give him back. Bang, 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 bang. Sweet. All right. That's 5-0. 23 straight, right? Be back for next round. All right. Round 6 against Weed Khalifa. Ooh, this is not a keepable hand. This doesn't do anything. Looks like we're probably against another blue-red Prowess deck because of the Gigantha. Mulligan. Sand's not great. I think it's fine, though. I'm going to keep bottom a land or bottom the artillery. I mean, we have 2 uncastable spells. I'm going to bottom, oh, excuse me. Voice cracking. Bottom land. Try to Malevolent Rumble into either mountain. I guess we need to hit a mountain. Maybe this was not a keep because I was thinking this can help us hit Bombardment, but we didn't actually have red mana to cast it. I don't know. We'll see. Soul Scar's range. Yep. That's not a good draw. That's a bad draw. Okay. We're not going to be able to race them just with 2/2s. Hopefully they use a removal spell on it, though. We definitely don't care about them killing our creatures that can't block. This deck plays people play way too many basics in this deck. People play way too many basics in this format. There's like 2 cards that punish you for not having basics in your deck. You could play 1 if you're so worried about Demolition Field. But honestly, like it's like Demolition Field, and some people play Path to Exile. That's kind of it. And people play like, you know, this is like a blue-red aggro deck, and people are playing like 7 basics. It's crazy. Okay. I think I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, which is lead on the Rumble. Okay. This is tricky. I think I have to take Bombardment. Oh, actually, no, because I get to play Roots, and then the Roots lets the Eldrazi spawn tap for red. And then I have Bombardment plus Miner going, and we'll have the Roots. So next turn I go black, black, green, play Roots, and then I have 1 black floating, red, and then I'll have Bombardment plus Roots. So as long as they don't like go really crazy the next 2 turns, basically they have to kill me next turn, probably, or I'll should be able to start controlling the board. The fact that I showed that I'm picking up Bombardment means that they are more likely to do something like try to kill the Eldrazi spawn or kill the Forsaken Miner. But all right, Slick Shot Show Off is not bad for us because it has 2 toughness, which makes it a little easier to kill with Bombardment. But it does kill really fast. Ooh. Okay, they're casting play with fire on us as opposed to the spawn, which is good for us, although makes me a little worried if they're going to be able to kill us next turn. No blocks. Supplier is not the draw we wanted. We really wanted to hit a land there. Okay, let's attack with the Miner. Black, black. Green. Red. I guess we can sack the spawn if we wanted to. If we sacked the spawn for a colorless, then we'd have black floating. We could play Stitcher's Supplier untapped. I guess that's pretty good. So cast this, keep a black floating, and now play the Stitcher's Supplier. All right, and then end our turn. So this gives us a chump blocker for the Soulscar Mage, which is a much better chance of living through this turn, although they have a decent number of ways of giving their stuff trample. Okay, that's not one of them. Flame of Venor. Okay. I guess let's just go ahead and kill this while we have the chance. All right, the Forsaken Miner's trigger, but nothing. All right, there goes all our lands. So they draw 2. They hit us for 5. Oof. Again, not what we needed here. Okay. Sack this. Oh, wait, we literally can't. Oops. Shit. I fucked that up. Well, I guess I didn't fuck it up. I don't think there was any way of getting out of it. Yeah, we just couldn't drawing like a blue-black spell. Do they not have a... I mean, they must have a spell in hand. I don't know what they're tanking about. I'm sure we're just dead. What are they doing? Land. Show me any spell and we're dead. You can't have no spells, can you? Okay, there you go. All right. You didn't need to think through that hard. Oh, wait. Oh, we're not quite dead. But we were dead. We were dead. They didn't need anything. Damn. All right. 5-1. Our winning streak is over. Ends at 23. But still alive. Can still get our trophy. And it wasn't going to last forever. And it did eventually die to the blue-red Prowess deck. Yeah, that's an example of where just like, you know, lower land count can come in a little bit clunky. You know, and the somewhat greedy blue-black splashes were coming back to bite us there. And so we really definitely needed just a land because that would get us our Bloodghast. It would get us more triggers. I think if we drew a land at any point there, we just win that game. But the fact that we didn't meant that we could never quite control the board. And then I messed up that last turn, but there wasn't a way to do it correctly. Because we needed a creature, we needed to get black mana off of a creature by sacking to Phyrexian Tower, and also have a creature to sack to Bombardment to start the miners coming back. Okay, anyways. This hand, yeah, this seems pretty good. I think what I'm going to do... I could ditch the Psychic Frog with the idea of trying to get it back with Tyvar. Yeah, I think that seems actually pretty reasonable. And then just playing Malevolent Rumble next turn. All right, we got the Satoru. It's not really what we wanted. But next turn we get to Malevolent Rumble. What I was hoping to do is Enthusiast, discard Psychic Frog, and getting another one of our engine cards. All right, well, now we need to... They're a Lurrus deck. Just taking note of that. Oh, okay. I guess the Blooming Marsh. And attack with the Enthusiast. What do they have? Drawing the second Tyvar at least gives us like Thoughtseize protection. I'm guessing they're, yeah, all right. Looks like they're Mardu energy. I can talk about this deck in a second. Ooh, that's really nice. Yeah, all right. Let's do that right. As opposed to Satoru, can't do that. Okay. Artillery Enthusiast, ditch the Bloodghast. Play this. I mean, I guess if we're going to get back the Psychic Frog, we were going to be able to discard the Bloodghast anyways, but this seems pretty reasonable. Mill 3. Get back the Psychic Frog. Then attack. Yeah, so they're on Magic on Magic Arena, you'll notice Ocelot Pride is 2 mana instead of 1. It was 1 mana when it was printed, but the red-white energy deck was just completely ridiculous, so they nerfed a few of the cards. It's still a pretty reasonable deck, even with like, so Ocelot Pride costs 2, Guide of Souls, you need 4 energy instead of 3, and then Galvanic Discharge only gives you 2 energy instead of 3. So they just like kind of nerfed them slightly, which I liked, as opposed to just, you know, completely destroying the deck. So now it's, you know, it was like so completely oppressive. There's basically nothing else you could play, and now it's just a good deck. All right, let's draw. That's not really something we wanted to draw. Cast this Malevolent Rumble, I think. The other option is discard the Satoru and then just Tyvar it back. I think trying to hit something off Malevolent Rumble is probably better. Ooh, Bombardment's nice. Okay, let's exile some lands. I guess let's keep one for Deathrite just in case. Exile the Malevolent Rumble. And attack. Draw our card. Yeah, okay. I was hoping to hit a land. Yeah, let's play the Goblin Bombardment. Plus this on the Psychic Frog. Is there any reason to bombardment this away? We're definitely going to end up killing this. I think they play like Vampiric Rites, things that let them sack their creatures to draw cards. So I think doing this now actually does make sense. We lose a life. We could kill the other things, but we'd have to sack everything. So let's focus on killing the Ocelot Pride, which is going to be our first choice of things to kill anyways. Well, I guess we could have tried the Marionette Apprentice, but we'll kill that later. Ooh, all right. They have another one. That's fine. We're not at that much risk of losing that much life. Hitting a Roots here would obviously be the nut. How many Bloodghasts do we have? What are the Reliquary? We'll get back 2 Bloodghasts. Galvanic Discharge on this. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so we can't get the white out and immediately use it. Land. It's not a fucking land. All right. So what do we want to do here? I think I'm going to start off exiling some stuff. I don't know. Insidious Roots. We don't have any way of getting Insidious Roots back. Let's give this flying. All right, there's a land. Okay, so we can choose what we get back. Yeah, you know what? All right, so this has got to be the move. We'll discard the Satoru, play Tyvar, minus Tyvar, get back the Satoru, draw a card. Let's go ahead and kill these things. Kill this one. We'll take 2, and then we'll take 1 off the other one. I guess let's play this untapped. Getting a little aggressive with our life total, but we are going to start being able to just machine gun down their board. So let's do that. Bring back the Forsaken Miner. Draw another card. Kill another Marionette Apprentice. Take 1 more damage. And we should be good now. Let's discard down, I guess, another Maverick. Or never mind, another Miner. All right, what do they got? They have their own Goblin Bombardment. All right, so given that, we're going to doink all their things so that they can't start throwing around their own pings. And this one as well. This card's could potentially be an issue, just given how much damage we've taken off our own lands and stuff, and their Marionette Apprentices. All right, and an Amped Raptor. Hitting what? An Ocelot Pride. Okay. Well, they didn't gain life this turn. Are they gonna? Oh, they're gonna sack the Amp Raptor to kill the Tyvar? That's fine. I don't care about that. Ooh, they sacked the Ocelot Pride to kill it. Fair enough. All right. Play a tapped land. Get 3 triggers. Draw 3 cards. Another one. Another one. Really just looking for roots here, but we don't have a white. Oh, we can discard. Oops. Discard the white. There's not really any reason to do that. Let's ping this. Bring back these miners. Oh, actually, we can just one-shot them with this Psychic Frog, right? Yeah, that's sweet. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll bring back all the miners. Sure. Yeah, and then we get to just discard our whole hand to Psychic Frog and then sack everything to Goblin Bombardment. That's pretty sick. All right, cool. And discard. 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 Yeah, they saw it. Sweet. All right, that was nice. I haven't actually killed somebody off of just a massive Psychic Frog before. I mean, we could have just killed them through a million ways there, but, you know, new achievement unlocked. What are we now? 6-1? Is that right? I think that's correct. Yeah, 6-1. All right. Be back for round 8. Okay. Round 8. What do you think about this hand? Yeah, I think this is a keep. Deathrite on turn 1. Turn 2, we can go Rumble and another Deathrite. I think that's better. Well, we'll see. Maybe Psychic Frog. We could play Psychic Frog, like discard Phyrexian Tower and play another Deathrite. It doesn't feel that good. We could also just play Psychic Frog. All right, they play a Balmore. Ooh, Bombardment. Let's do this. I guess we have to take the other Psychic Frog. And, I mean, do we want to play another Deathrite? As opposed to just passing? At that point, I should have taken the other land, but... Yeah, let's play another Deathrite. It just needs that we don't have any more lands in the graveyard. Now, they're going to kill the Deathrite almost surely anyways. So, let's get another one into play. All right. I guess this one thing this does... No, that's fine. It means that we have to play our land before we can play Bombardment, but that doesn't really make a difference. Slickshot show off, sure. Okay. So they just attack for 2. Okay. You know, drawing all... Oh, what the fuck am I doing? I have a fucking Mana Confluence in hand. I was complaining that I didn't have any blue spells. I mean, blue mana, but I fucking do right here. But that's fine. I guess, yeah, we're not using Deathrite this turn, so let's just crash. Pass the turn. What do they have? They have removal spells. It's not going to be particularly effective. Consider. Yeah, the other nice thing about playing against Slick Shot, oh my god, that's a hard word. Slick Shot Show Off is that it doesn't pump their toughness, so we can make our decision later about what we're going to kill and how. Like, make them do all their things first. All right. All right, we're definitely sacking the Bloodghast. I think we're probably just sacking the spawn also. We could just sack a Deathrite because these don't have land targets right now, but I think we don't have any use for colorless mana. Sure. That is fine. We take our 4. Ooh, Tyvar's nice. Okay. Do I want to sack this for double black? Am I going to need that mana? Yeah, I might. If I don't hit a land off this Tyvar. Double black. Green. Tyvar. And then I'm going to play the Satoru. So we get to draw a card off of the Tyvar. Yeah, Artillery Enthusiast. Discard a Psychic Frog. Now we do have 1 mana up. That's fine, so no attacks. All right, now they can kill the Tyvar if they want next turn, but I'm not that worried about that. All right, they're going to cast Shove Aside. Do I want to go after the ball more? Probably not right now, because they don't have any other creatures in play. This isn't like the biggest threat on its own. So if I'm not going to, send all, try to actually kill the ball more at that point, there's no point in sending one creature after it. All right, Symmetry Mage. And Reckless Charge. All right. Given that, we can, all right, let's exile this, get a green mana, exile one of their things to gain 2 life, 15. All right, this is going to be 3. Yeah, this is going to be so much damage. Let's just kill this stuff. I'm fine sacking these Deathrites. They're not doing that much here. Now they can, yeah, they're just going to kill the Tyvar. Makes sense. Okay, land is not really a great draw. Let's start off with the Malevolent Rumble. Ooh, okay. Well, we hit our Forsaken Miner, so that's good. And take the Wight of the Reliquary. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not enough to... I guess I can actually... No, if I... Let's just play this. Get back the Bloodghast. And then... pass, and then with... I think I'm going to do this, actually. Kill that. They could, you know, play another creature with a reckless charge, but it's not going to be that impactful if they have to flash back a reckless charge. So, like, the only worry is that somehow they have a second reckless charge in hand plus another creature. It's not super likely. Even that, like, we're not going to die. But yeah, at this point, they're definitely going to have a tough time beating this. Like, this is just by itself. Like, the fact that we can just do, yeah, 5 damage a turn to them is just not something we can really beat. Sweet. Wow. All right, 7-1. Did lose our 23-game winning streak, but I would still call this a very successful outing with the deck. Get our packs. Nice. Do our exciting pack openings. Soul of Emancipation. I actually kind of wanted that card potentially as a reanimation target, so it's kind of useful. You so rarely get rares that you actually wanted. Fucking erratic Cyclopses. Where are you? All right. So just going back to the deck, I think that I really like it. I'm a little bit feeling like 2 Psychic Frogs, 2 Satorus might be a little bit much. It did feel like these were often kind of sitting clunkily in our hand. The Satorus were pretty good. Psychic Frogs, we never quite got that turn where we just, got to trigger this like 4 times. A bunch of other cards that I've thought about. Snarling Gorehound is kind of nice. Unlucky Witness. Marionette Apprentice is obviously makes sense in a deck like this, although killing them fast is not really what this deck's trying to do. Souls of the Lost is a discard outlet and sacrifice outlet that's just very big. Fiend Artisan is one that was in the deck for a while. I recently cut it for the Psychic Frogs. It's just really fucking slow. It's a really slow card. And the fact that you have to tap it to use it makes it like the fact that it is a really big creature, less impactful. The Pioneer deck is kind of built all around Priest of Forgotten Gods and Agatha's Soul Cauldron. This card I also found just really slow. Like, the idea is that this is pretty good with Tyvar, but he still has to have 2 creatures to sack and 2 creatures that you want to sack, which is not even always the case. And it's like good against blue-red prowess, but it's not good against like the decks that make tokens or decks that don't, like when you get like Forsaken Mine or Goblin Bombardment against a deck that doesn't have creatures, you just start pinging them like to the face. This, sacks gets some mana and life. I just found it kind of underwhelming. Mayhem Devil, not really great here. So I'm really happy with the deck. I'm kind of pro Pit of Offerings. I definitely left that still feeling good about it. Yeah, I might want to tinker with these slots. I'm not 100% sure if these are really the right numbers or exactly what I want to do. I did like Wight. I didn't love Wight. I think these are really the kind of flex spots. Like I could see doing something like cutting these for like another Roots, another Tyvar, another like just all of the support spells and just like be really all in on that stuff. But this is kind of the beef. This is like what kind of lets you go over the top. I wish there was something else that like, I wish Tyvar got back Insidious Roots, basically. I wish we had another card in the deck that could bring these back from the graveyard. we don't have anything to bring them back. So that would be something that would be nice, but as far as I know, that just like doesn't really exist. So, you know, things to think about, but I really like this deck, and that's all I got for you today. Hope you enjoy watching.